Cinema Classics is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street in Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.org.
The award-winning Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org. I'm John DeSando.
I'm Johnny DiLoretto. This is Cinema Classics.
It is.
And we're talking about probably the definitive classic. One of the, like, if you had to strip down all of cinema history into 10 films, this one I gotta put in there.
Oh yeah, I think next to Birth of a Nation, starting with D.W. Griffith.
Well, I wouldn't put that one in there.
Yeah,
no one likes that one.
Oh,
it's got the Ku Klux Klan in it.
I know it does, but visually,
Is it Ku Klux?
Very
Ku Klux.
Ku Klux, right?
Ku Klux.
Ku Klux. Right.
Okay.
Visually, almost unbeatable.
Yeah.
In fact, the big lens they use for Omar Sharif coming as a spec
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is still owned by Panavision, has never been used since.
Really?
Yeah, they had to have this giant lens to do it, and nobody's ever used it since.
Wow.
Just,
why not?
I don't know, because, well, my God, who can afford? Steven Spielberg, for whom this is his favorite, says it would cost about $280 million to make that movie
Really?
today.
You know what I love is that we haven't even mentioned the title yet.
Yeah, how about that?
We're talking about David Lean's 1962 masterpiece,
Yes.
Lawrence of Arabia, starring Peter O'Toole, who had never before, as far as I know, this was his first film.
Yes.
He'd never before appeared on film. It was Albert Finney cast originally, but for some reason...
Finney dropped out, but you know who they wanted?
Redford. I
No.
don't know. Who?
Marlon Brando.
Really?
And he said he wouldn't go to the desert for 2 years. He ended up going to Tahiti probably for 10 years.
Yeah, right.
To make Mutiny on the Bounty.
Uh-huh.
But he wouldn't. He was the megastar at that time.
Yeah, for sure.
They wanted. But Finney was, I thought, an odd choice.
Yeah, and I don't know why he fell out.
Yeah.
It was because of the sun or something
It was
like that.
It was an odd reason.
Yeah, it was something like he couldn't carry it
Yeah.
through or something. But whatever happened, history was made, and
Wow.
like, I can't imagine anyone else in that role. Peter O'Toole is probably one of the, forget about being one of the best looking men on film in the history of cinema. There's something about his face, that costuming, those eyes, that desert, that landscape, those people, that story, that character that comes together to create what I think is one of the most beautiful landscapes ever captured on film, and I'm talking about his face, not the actual
I
desert.
agree, yeah.
It's an image so I can't get out of my head.
Yeah. Actually, Premiere Magazine, when it was publishing,
Mm-hmm.
said it was the top 100 performance. His performance, and he didn't win the Oscar that year.
Yeah.
This film got 7 out of the 10 nominations. It won. It didn't get Best Actors. That both of them, Sharif
Right.
and script, it didn't get.
Yeah.
But it got all the others: picture, director, cinematography.
Right.
So you are right on about this, though. Some would say it wasn't a great performance. It wasn't.
Oh my God!
I know
it's an
it wasn't.
amazing
It was.
performance.
It was. But I think the visual is such a good accompaniment to his performance.
Yeah.
That it is. Let's use a cliche: breathtaking.
Well, yeah, and his performance is breathtaking in a very quiet way, because what happens is Lawrence, who's a bit of an adventurer and a charismatic, devil-may-care kind of
And
guy.
5 foot like 4,
In
compared
real life,
with
yeah.
compared with O'Toole's 6'2".
So he heads out to the desert, and he becomes enmeshed in the sort of ongoing warfare, right?
Well, he was
between-
crucial in beating the Turks.
Yeah,
He was playing for the Arabs.
in World War I.
Yeah,
during World War
yeah,
I.
yeah.
But he slowly succumbs to this notion that he is greater than man.
I know.
And
I know.
watching that happen to him
Yeah.
is pretty fabulous.
And
It's one of the great transformations, because it is subtle.
yeah, in a kind of Wellesian turn, we watch him die at the beginning of the film, and then it
Mhm.
goes back on his motorcycle.
Yeah.
And he's quite right. He became a megalomaniac, really, and he
Yeah.
really thought he was unbeatable till the Turks got him and tortured him, and then he learned his lesson. And when he came back, he came back with a blood vengeance against
Right,
the Turks.
right.
And that's what he really went off.
And that's the other thing that happens in the movie that probably, I don't know if I wonder how that plays to contemporary audiences. But in the film, he's raped. He's raped by
Oh,
the
okay, forgot
Turkish
that. Yeah.
officer. There is a a not very subtle homosexual storyline to the film. Lawrence is in love with that young. I want to say it might be a boy. He's in love with that young boy, and it's barely spoken about in the film, but it's there. The tension is there.
Well,
And when the Turkish guy, I forget who plays him at this point, he whips him, but there's this baring of Lawrence's flesh that is very suggestive.
Yeah.
And he's, at the end of that scene, he's clearly transformed, and I think you're right, he comes out of that.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is 1962. There's no way they're going to play up the gay element of this.
No, but there was a lot of that going on in movies at the time. They were starting to be more explicit about these tensions. You'll remember Ben-Hur, right? That love story, which they didn't even tell Charlton Heston about, but that the guy playing opposite Heston was supposed to be playing it as though he was in love with him.
Do you know
They didn't tell that.
There's a Ben-Hur coming up?
Yeah, there's a new Ben-Hur coming out. Also in Spartacus, the tension between Laurence Olivier and Tony Curtis.
Excellent.
These were things that right here at this point, 60, 61, 62, they started to deal with it.
Yeah.
And there is a definitive tension in Lawrence of Arabia.
And also, on a light subject, there are no speaking roles for women in this film.
There are no women.
I think there may be now and then, but no speaking.
I don't think I don't know.
I don't know.
I would like to go back.
But there definitely no speaking
Yeah,
roles.
so what do you think about that for subtext?
Anyway, Noel Coward said this about, and you were talking about the beauty of Peter O'Toole
Yeah.
in this. Noel Coward said, if he'd been any prettier, they've had to call it Florence of Arabia.
Now, see, that's funny. Noel Coward. That's why he's Noel Coward, and we're not.
So, Gateway is going to have this in
so
35 millimeter?
Let me correct you on that, John. Gateway Film Center will be showing Lawrence of Arabia May 13th, beginning May 13th, in 70 millimeter. The very format for which a movie like this was invented. It's not to be missed.
What I don't know,
Yeah.
and what you may not know, is whether this is there's actually a 4-hour version,
Yeah.
then a 3.5, then a 3 for TV, which is, I mean, please don't write to me and tell me how you saw it on TV, because I'm gonna die to hear anybody.
This is actually the 13-week version. You sit there and you will stay at the theater for 13 weeks. We'll take care of you. Bring a tent.
Right. It's not Groundhog Day.
No, it's not Groundhog Day.